Well, it's time to do a little bit more pricking out. All the hard work's been done on the plot over the last few weeks while I've been in splendid isolation down here, not working at the moment and unlikely to be, probably for the rest of this year because I'm a tradesman. And we're pricking out the cucumbers. Now there are 3 different varieties that I'm growing this year, and the one that we're looking at here is Femspot. This is a really lovely cucumber. It's nice and smooth, really juicy, easy to grow, and I think I've got about 6 of these, 5 or 6. As you can see there, 5, another 3 to go. And then the other varieties that I'm growing are Burpless and Piccolino. The Piccolino, as the name suggests, is a tiny lunchbox sized cucumber. Burpless are very reliable, but they're very prickly as well. So I mean, I'm tending to grow fewer of these. I like the Femspot, and I do like the miniature varieties as well. And all I've done is I've sown these in a half tray, an 8 by 5 inch tray, and then all I do is I just take a spoon and I spoon each individual plant out. Pop them into a 5 inch pot with a mix of John Innes #1 and multi-purpose compost. And the John Innes just gives it that little bit of added weight, and it retains its moisture, all the better for it. Well, turns out I had 17 cucumber plants. I decided to prick them all out and plant them all. I dare say I'll be able to share a few with other plot holders, but there'll be no shortage of cucumbers this year. Hi, it's the end of the day. It's Wednesday the 15th, I think, today of April. And before I go, I want to get some rhubarb. Now I've picked about 50 sticks of the larger variety around the back there, but I've yet to take any of the champagne variety, so that's my plan now. And I don't think I'll need many sticks. I'll get maybe half a dozen, and then I'll show you what they look like. Right, well, there's a lot to choose from, and I just tried to pick the stems that looked the rosiest, the reddest, because they'll be a little bit sweeter. There we go, 6 lovely sticks of champagne rhubarb. I'll clean it up now and I'll put the leaves in with the compost, and we'll be having a nice crumble tomorrow for lunch. See you later. Morning everyone, it's nice and sunny down on the allotment today. It's Thursday the 16th of April, and I just thought I'd show you the onions. Now I showed you these in the last update and it's only 4 days ago, and I'm certain that the tops have sprouted about 2 inch or so in that short period of time. So I'm really pleased with these. These were bought from Marshall Seeds, and as I said in the last update, there are 3 varieties: red fen, early fen and rumba, and they've really shot up. I can't believe it, but they are in the warmest of the 4 greenhouses, and I've been watering them every day as well, so they're doing really well, which is a far cry from the performance of the overwintering onions. I'll show you those now because they're very disappointing. I don't know what everyone else's experience has been over the winter, but it's been so wet that really didn't come on very well at all. So we'll take a look at those now. These are the overwintering onions and shallots. The variety of shallot is Germore. It's the same variety that I grew last year. Last year's crop was absolutely fantastic, and the shallots lasted for about 7 months after harvesting. But this year's overwintering onions and shallots are in a very poor state. There are a few gaps and a little bit of yellowing as well, but they're just starting to bounce back with the nice weather and a bit of watering in the last week or so. But the onions, the Japanese onions, you can see they're not very good at all. There are several gaps, probably 7 or 8 onions that just died off or were pecked out by the birds. But that 4 months of rain really didn't help, and I'll be very surprised if we get much of a harvest from these this year. And if you look over onto the next bed, you can see this year's shallots and onions. These shallots are Longo, and the onions on the left are the Caravel Pink, and they're nearly as far on as the overwintering onions, so a bit of a waste really this last season. But who knows, if these don't go to seed, which is often the risk with overwintering onions, then we might get a handful of onions. Having said that, we're still eating onions from last season at home, so there's no shortage in that regard. But bit of a disappointment really. I'm up on the no-dig plot now, and I just thought I'd show you the compost bins. These have been re-sited to the side of the barn. I've got 4 here, and they're all about 1/3 full, and I'm trying to make a concerted effort this year to be, how shall I put it, diligent in my composting and consistent. Because sometimes when you've got cold compost storage like we have as well, it's tempting just to chuck it all in a big pile and to leave it. Well, this year I'm trying to do it a little bit differently, and I'm layering up with green and brown layers with shredded paper, cardboard, toilet roll, kitchen roll, tubes, that kind of thing, and I'm layering up in between with peelings from home, rhubarb leaves and grass, anything that I can get my hands on really at this time of the year. So I'll show you inside the bins and you'll get an idea of how it looks at the minute. And this is the top one, as you can see, quite a bit of thin cardboard or paper, the kind of stuff that you get as packaging within cardboard boxes when you order things online, just to cushion the contents. Rhubarb leaves, banana peels, and lots of flies, which is a good sign, so it's starting to break down. I do need to give these a water as well, just to keep them moist, but as you can see, there's quite a bit there already to start the season off. Still on the no-dig plot, and I'm just looking inside this 30 litre pot that's itself sat in a Belfast sink, and you can see that there are some onions growing in this. Well, actually they're not onions, they are baby elephant garlic plants, and if you look at the side there, I don't know if you can see in this light, but there are some of the tiny little bulbils or baubles. These are the little cloves, if you will, that grow around the base of the mature elephant garlic plant. And all I did at the end of last season was gathered them all up, several dozen of them, chucked them in the bottom of this bucket, a little bit of compost and a bit of manure, and I've watered them intermittently
and as you can see I've got about a half a dozen plants that are ready to be pricked out and planted on, and there are several more as well I think that might come in the next few months. So I'm going to take those 6 plants and I'm going to put them in the builder's oblong bucket just here. If I point to it you can see, and we'll let them grow on, because what you do is you put them in soil as a bulbul, and in the first year they form a single bulb, plant that on and that'll grow on, and then in the second year it should subdivide and give you a full mature elephant garlic bulb with 5 or 6 cloves in it. So a little bit of an afterthought, but these things do sometimes bear fruit. I've enough elephant garlic plants anyway, mature plants, but I just thought I'd try growing a handful of these as well. Well, that's it for this update. It's not a very long one, and there's not really a great deal to show you at this stage in the season, but I know it's the same for everyone. We're all enjoying the sun, but we've still to plant out all those seedlings, so it'll be 2 or 3 weeks I think before things really start to green up, before the potatoes come through and all the onions start racing away. So I'll try and keep doing the odd update when there's anything of interest to share with you, but until the next time, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you've not already, and thank you if you have subscribed, and I appreciate all your comments. So I'll see you maybe in a week or so. Okay, catch you later. Bye.